Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. First, today I have to give a disclaimer that I'm not a learned person in Islam, but I'm, self-taught. Every one of us as a Muslim or as Muslims, we should try and learn something about religion every day, something about the world every day. It's the news, it's psychology, it's economics. Every day, someone must develop himself in knowledge, any knowledge. If it's worldly knowledge like psychology, education, and economics, accounts, anything you like. And also, every day, try to learn something in religion. There's a topic which I feel it's not been given enough discussion or airtime. And to me, I see it as a very important subject in our lives today. That subject is, the disclaimer is that I'm not trying to be a very religious person or trying to know so much about religion, but it's only one word which I would like to discuss today. Just one simple word. And it's so simple, but it's very important in our lives. The word is taqwa. Taqwa means piety. Maybe if you just translate it quickly, it's piety means piety. Taqwa. Taqwa is our biggest problem in the Muslim world and with Muslims. We don't consider it as a very important part of our lives. In the Quran, there's 60 locations where taqwa is mentioned, and derivatives of taqwa 190 times in the Quran. So I consider taqwa meaning fear of God, but has more deeper meanings, much deeper. And linguistically, the meaning is shield or protective barrier, protection in linguistic meanings. And to protect oneself from what angers Allah. So taqwa can mean that you are protecting yourself against what angers Allah. It means you do only good things. So taqwa is very important in our lives. So how does it protect you from the anger of Allah? If you do sins, then Allah will be angry with you, and you won't succeed in a lot of things you do, and maybe He'll give you a lot of time, because God does not take action immediately. He might give somebody 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, and then He takes action. He's got His own timing. Allah has His own timings. So you can't say that you do sins today, you do bad things today, you anger someone, or you do something wrong, and then you say, I'm okay, I'm doing so good. Punishment of Allah does not come immediately. He's got His own timing. So taqwa is to protect you against, to protect oneself from what angers Allah. So how many things in Mombasa, for example, or in the world we do which angers Allah? That's why you find us in very bad situations. You'll find Muslims suffering in very bad situations. Muslims living in the ghettos, probably living of course in very good areas, but you'll find many Muslims suffering because of lack of taqwa, and they don't know why they're suffering. Why are there problems? Even the whole country, for example, there's no taqwa. People are drinking like nobody's business. People are gambling. People are using drugs, people Miro, using all these type of drugs, and not even caring about the anger of Allah. That's why you'll find problems all over, because there's no taqwa. Taqwa is very important in everybody's life. Every one of us is important and must think about taqwa. And taqwa, in other words, it can be said that it's a protective barrier between us, humans, and the punishment of Allah. Taqwa is a defense, is a protection against the anger of Allah and against the punishment of Allah, because Allah punishes people in this world and punishes people in the graves. So if you don't have taqwa, you'll be suffering in this world and suffering in the graves. That's why taqwa is very important, and people don't discuss it often. I feel that every week and every month we must discuss taqwa, even repeat the same thing, the same video, same information, maybe add a little bit out and try, and every Muslim is responsible to learn something about the Quran, in the sense that all of us as Muslims, we must try and learn something new in the Quran every day, or at least every week. If you read Surah Al-Kahf, I've been reading Surah Al-Kahf for the last Fridays, maybe how many Fridays? I don't know, 20, 30 years Fridays. I'll be reading Surah Al-Kahf, and every day I learn something new in Surah Al-Kahf. Surah Al-Kahf. Imagine every day I notice something. Because sometimes you're in a hurry, you read it quickly, sometimes you are a bit slow and you want to go to the Swahili translation, the English translation to learn more about it. But everybody should read Surah Al-Kahf every Friday, of course, and then try to read between the lines. Like recently, I noticed that there are 7 places in Surah Al-Kahf which talk about the Salihin. As-Salihin, only 7 times in Surah Al-Kahf, As-Salihin. That you should be Salih, you should be a good person, you should be God-fearing and you do good things. So 7 times Surah Al-Kahf says about it. So you just go around, read the Surah Al-Kahf and see how many times there is the word Salihin or Salihat or Salihin, something like that, and then you will realize that 7 times it talks about the good people, everything about the good people, Salihin. This one example I recently noticed, and maybe I'll cover it another day, wherever it is, every place it is. But of course, we should all try to be religious and fear God, taqwa. Always put this word taqwa in your mind. And taqwa is a protective barrier between us humans and Allah's punishment. So how many punishments are we suffering from today? How much punishment are we suffering from? So you can imagine all those punishments we're suffering from because of lack of taqwa. So imagine if all of us try to improve our way of life and the fear of God, and to do a protection from the anger of Allah by not doing any wrong things. So Allah has enjoined us, it also means that Allah has enjoined and avoiding what Allah has forbidden. So also means that you do what Allah has agreed, has accepted, or Allah wants, or the Prophet and Allah has told us what to do. Of course, including all the prophets, Jesus and Moses and all of them. They came with the things for us to do, the good things we should do, and to avoid what Allah has forbidden. So taqwa means that also. It means that do only good things which Allah has accepted, and avoid what Allah has forbidden. And the story can be so long. I'm going to cut it short, but there is a place in the Quran which says, chapter 49, verse 13, verily the most honorable of you with Allah is that who has taqwa. Whoever who has taqwa, Allah would be pleased, it says verily, this 49.13, verily the most honorable of you, Allah is that who has taqwa. Like it says here, let me see, أكرمكم عند الله أتقاكم إن الله عليم خبير. أكرمكم عند الله أتقاكم. Verily the most honorable of you with Allah is the one who has taqwa, which is here. And then there's another place whereby it says, that indeed Allah loves the muttaqeen. Indeed Allah loves those who are muttaqeen, who have got taqwa. In the sense that where it says يقولون على الله الكذب وهم يعلمون بلى من أوفى بعهده واتقى فإن الله يحب المتقين. You see, it's very clear, and there are many places, 160 or how many places, we said 60 places where taqwa is mentioned. So imagine how much we are and where we are as far as taqwa is concerned, it's so important that we every day remember the word taqwa. Every time you want to do something wrong, remember taqwa and the blessings of Allah. Taqwa is a shield against Allah's anger and against Allah's punishment. And I stand to be corrected. Anybody who can contribute maybe correct me. And it's just a reminder for everybody that taqwa is so important in our lives. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.